Hey, Shane.
Yeah.
Have you seen Barbie?
No.
Okay, but have you seen Oppenheimer? A very similar film.
No. Spencer, have you seen Barbenheimer?
I have.
Ooh.
Barbenheimer.
We went and saw. Well, I went and saw Barbie, and then I went and saw Oppenheimer.
And
then,
I went and saw Oppenheimer, and then I went and saw Barbie.
But you saw them both on the same day.
I did Barbenheimer proper, like the day. I don't know how much are you much of a binger in that way? Like, could you have sat down in a movie theater for like two so close to one another?
I think that is a complicated question because I had no interest in seeing these two movies back to back because I did not think the vibes going from one to the other would feel good.
That's the funniest part about it is because I think because the vibes are so different, they pair so weirdly well together.
That is fascinating. I know for a fucking fact I would not want to watch Barbie after watching Oppenheimer.
I couldn't walk out of Oppenheimer and walk into Barbie. Like, we went to dinner in between.
Yeah.
And so we had some time to discuss and then get excited about Barbie.
Yeah.
But I had a blast doing both. It was so much fun.
Talk more about that experience because I couldn't do it.
Well, I don't look. Oppenheimer is obviously, we haven't talked about it at all. I really think since we went and saw it in a very cool screening for your viewing.
Yeah.
The experience of it was so cultural. I think it has to be said up front and outright that this is the best box office we've seen in so long.
Yeah.
It is kind of incredible the number of records being broken right now.
Yeah.
Both movies outperforming estimations. There's a real legitimate chance Barbie becomes $1 billion movie. A kind of likely chance that it does. So the cultural of it was fun. I mean, all the Barbenheimer memes, which was so fucking great. It's the years of posting Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne with the caption, "1 ticket to the Barbie movie."
Literally.
Years of it.
Yeah.
It was incredible, and that was so much fun. They got more and more elaborate. The Barbenheimer merch started coming out. I still am a little disappointed I didn't get the Barbenheimer shirt where it was a pink nuclear bomb going off.
We love it.
Nuclear bomb. Insane to me that I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But the experience of it was fun because now specifically Barbie, I haven't seen that many people dressed up to go see a movie ever.
Other than maybe the Mario movie.
Would you have a lot of people at Mario?
I didn't go see Mario. I went and saw Air. And while I was there, I literally saw every single other person in that theater was dressed up as a Mario character. I'm not even, not in the theater to see Air, but in the lobby of the theater. I saw literally 20 or 30 people coming in and out all wearing Mario shit.
That is insane.
And they're all it wasn't children. It was adults dressed as fucking Toad and Donkey Kong.
Look, more power to you. Have fun.
Man, no, I'm not shitting on it. I'm just saying, I don't know why that was the movie like that. And I get Barbie, but why? Because it's because most everybody's just wearing pink.
Yeah.
You had to buy a costume. You had to go to fucking Party City and buy a Toad costume or Amazon.
That's true. Now, a lot of people in my Barbie screening were dressed up. They had sashes and dress, the whole thing, which was so much fun.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. But anyway, so we did Oppenheimer first,
which I can't imagine wanting to do that one first and then
see. But I think that's been the general gist of most people are you see Oppenheimer first. It's I think Patrick Willems put it. I think it was Patrick Willems where he's well, I'll probably see Oppenheimer first for my hearty meal, and then my splendid dessert will be Barbie. And I think that works because Oppenheimer leaves you wanting to die, and Barbie leaves you wanting to live.
Yeah.
And so you kind of get out of that funk with Barbie.
Yeah. I just wouldn't have been in the mood. to watch, or at least not within. Look, if I saw Oppenheimer in the morning and Barbie in the evening, I do think that would be enough time for me to recoup. But after Oppenheimer, I was just like,
yeah.
Do we want to talk about each of these movies individually?
I think so. Yes. They're a blast. I think both of us recommend both of them.
Yeah.
I thought both of these were incredible.
Wholeheartedly.
Which do you want to talk about first?
I
do we
don't
have
know.
any way of...
Because like I saw Barbie first, you saw Oppenheimer first.
Let's talk about Barbie first.
Yeah.
Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's flip what my viewing was. Yeah. What was your expectation of this coming into it?
I wanted no expectations.
No, but
I didn't watch any trailers. Well, I saw some. I saw like the very first teaser,
it was so good.
2001.
Essentially just imagery was all it was.
And so I was like, perfect. All I need to know. And then I avoided trailers at all costs. I think I saw one because it was a trailer before a movie.
Yeah.
It was probably before like Francis Ha or something like that. Yeah. And so like I went in with as few expectations and ideas of what this was going to be as possible. I wanted to know as little as possible. I had no idea what it was going to be. I didn't know if it was going to be drama or comedy or a fucking musical.
Yeah.
No idea. It happened to be
all three.
And it was
kind of all of those things. Yeah.
And so I wanted spoilers for this movie that everybody in the world has seen, as well as Oppenheimer coming up. You've been warned. So like I wanted as few expectations as possible. That's what I wanted. And I had very few.
Okay, but I should say, I think my question then becomes, how surprised were you with how far they took it from just purely like you and I talked about this slightly before we had seen the movie, but like people were getting mad at Greta Gerwig because she wanted to go make bigger movies, which is like so stupid. It's like, let her go make good big movies.
Yeah.
And then I kind of mentioned to you as like, it's not like Barbie isn't a product.
Yeah.
Like, but coming out of Barbie, I was like, I'm shocked at how far Mattel let them go.
Dude, I said the exact same fucking thing. We don't need to praise huge, gigantic corporations.
No.
But like, kind of shout out to Mattel for how this is the thing. Like, if you just let cool, interesting, talented people take your thing, and even ruthlessly make fun of you in the process, you will end up the winner.
Yeah.
All you have to do, like, that's the thing is like, okay, yeah, like the movie is pretty hard on Mattel, I would say. And like, if anything, like all they're going to do is make a bunch of fucking money on the back end with all the merch and tie-ins and all this kind of stuff. They're going to make a huge amount, like, let alone the movie being huge.
Like they eviscerate Mattel and the Barbie name of like how bad it's been. For and who knows the actual scope of that. Two dudes talking about it probably can't talk about that too much.
Yes.
But the movie really delves into that of like how Barbie has like negatively affected women in like a fascinating conversational way that I was really interested in. But yeah, like I walked in, I was like, shit, like they made like Mattel kind of the bad guys.
Yeah.
Buffoons at the very least.
Yeah.
It was like very PG-13. Like I was surprised by how PG-13 it was.
Yeah.
In a way that I think is really good. And in a way that I think kids could still watch and enjoy this movie and not be like, what is it? Whatever. Who cares? But yeah, that was maybe my biggest surprise. I was like, damn, you see how far Mattel went? Like and I mean, Lego did kind of the same thing with the Lego movie where they like made fun of the idea of like sets. Like, like just build what it like. It's just not the same level.
No,
not at all.
Like it doesn't make fun of like the corporation.
Yeah.
It plays with the idea of being creative versus like following the rules.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I could not believe how far they took it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they did. I think the movie is like far better for it.
I know. I struggled slightly, and I'll be curious what your experience. I struggled slightly with like the first act of Barbie, where like as we were going, I was like, so I know exactly what's happening. Like it felt like shockingly cookie cutter to me. And then the movie is still that.
Yeah.
It's still very obvious what's happening, but it's very emotionally complex.
Yeah.
And I think as soon as I flipped that switch in my brain where I was like, oh no, they're telling a simple plot, but a really complicated character study. As soon as I made that switch, I was like, okay, this movie is incredible.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
That was my hurdle. I don't know if you experienced anything like that at all.
I have two hurdles and I did not overcome them.
Oh, okay.
One was the movie in the middle of the movie suddenly becomes a car commercial.
I've heard people talk about that, and that is very accurate.
It is like bad and detrimental to the movie because of what my second point is. I know literally nothing about America Ferrera's character, and that is a fucking bummer. Like, instead of a car commercial, it would have been great to have any more time with America Ferrera. It's like it gives like this kind of half-assed lip service like twice about like her and her daughter's relationship a little bit. It's like her and her daughter. It's like, why is her daughter like this? Like, why is America Ferrera depressed and like thinking these thoughts? Like, other than the fact that like we are two white straight men.
Yes.
So take the giantest grain of salt and put a huge asterisk next to everything that we are both about to say. Just to put that up front.
Yeah.
But I just wish there was more to it than she is a woman who has to deal with this modern world, and that is because like that's the thing is like that monologue that she gives I thought was phenomenal.
Yes.
And I loved it, but it was just like, but you know what I mean, like that is women. But what about you?
Well, what about you? That make it broad by making it specific.
She was just so like, I'm not saying that we couldn't make it broad, like that monologue couldn't be broad.
No. That's what I'm saying is like the character though, like the monologue can be the experience, but we need to know like you why you're here, why you're doing this.
I can seriously name like 4 things about her. Like she has a daughter. She is married to a white man who is learning Spanish badly.
Yeah.
She works at Mattel and doesn't like it.
Yeah.
And draws.
No, like
and dated a man at one point who was her daughter's father that taught her how to drive. I know 5 things about that woman. And she is she is like kind of the MacGuffin of the movie.
Yeah, she's the catalyst for sure.
She is the inciting incident is her. And or like the thing that she did that causes the inciting incident.
Yeah.
And yet I know fucking nothing about her.
No, I do agree with that. I had a little bit of those specifically again in the first act where I was just kind of like, oh, we're okay. Okay. Because like you're right about the car commercial.
Like, it is a fucking Chevy commercial.
And
it flashes the Chevy Blaze logo like 40 times.
And like, don't get me wrong. There's part of me that's like willing to forgive 10% of that because I'm sure that check really helped them do what they wanted.
I'm kidding. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. I just wish they would have spent that time, or at least that amount of time, on
add a few minutes to the movie.
I would rather it be
give me 2 short scenes.
I would rather it be just over 2 hours than just under, and have more of America Ferrera's character. Because again, I know fucking 5 things about her.
That I fully agree with, and I would need to watch it again to see if maybe there's like things like subtle things I missed, that you kind of pick up later.
Right.
But I do agree that it's like I would have liked a bit more time with her.
It's like she's important. Like, I know more about Weird Barbie than I know about her.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should know more about her than Weird Barbie.
And especially because I think one of the best things the movie does is just commit to the world.
Yeah.
Where it's like they're talking about it's going to mean really weird things for our world.
Yeah.
And it's like they just accept that this is real Barbie. You know what I mean? Like they're just doing that and I buy it.
Oh, we don't need any hand waving.
No.
We don't need any explanation.
Like, they just commit, and it's awesome. Like, that is maybe the best thing about the screenplay.
Yeah.
Is that they just commit to that concept and let it go. Like, I really, really love that about it. And I do fully agree with you that I wish we had, like, 5 more minutes of something, 2 short scenes, and I think you're there.
Yeah.
Because, like, I do innately feel for her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's partly because of the cast and partly because of that great monologue, you know what I mean? But, like, giving her just some more specific things up front would really contextualize a lot of it.
Yeah. Like, just anything more than what we got.
Yeah.
We see her once in the Mattel HQ.
Drawing the stuff. And then, like, you know what I mean? Then she picks up her daughter.
Yeah.
There's the little montage of Barbie realizing.
Yeah.
And that's poorly hidden the first time you see it, where I was just like, so it's actually the mom, like, immediately. Which I don't know if maybe that's what they wanted you to realize. Anyway. I do agree with that.
That
just
is
a
like,
little more.
That is like the only like actual problem with this movie. And I do think it is like a problem.
Yeah.
But not in the way that it's like it makes the movie bad or anything like that. No. It's just the movie is doing so many other things and having so many other conversations, which I think are all handled either like pretty well to very well.
Yeah.
And I think that is the one place where it's like, oh, could you just a tiny bit, just a skosh.
Yeah,
I could have dealt with the fucking Chevy commercial,
or
at least just talked about your feelings during the Chevy commercial.
Yeah.
How does this Chevy make you feel, America Ferrera?
I think that's the solve. Yeah, I do agree with those things. Now that being said, I think the movie still completely works.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. In spite of those little things.
Yeah, like I said, it is having so many other conversations that I think it handles infinitely better. Not even infinitely better. I think that's a strong way of putting it. I think there's just everything else it's trying to do, it does with flying colors, and that is like the one thing that
it really needed.
That I think it really needed because it's an important relationship and it's an important character.
That is true. Now I think we just need to talk. This is a very strange thing to be having this conversation in a movie called Barbie.
Yeah.
Ken is the best part.
Yeah.
Like Ryan Gosling, I remember when he got cast, and all the people who knew, I'm one of them, who had seen The Nice Guys, knew he could be a silly little guy.
Yeah.
We all knew.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, Ryan Gosling's not hot enough to play Ken. And I was like, first of all, what are we talking about?
Who fucking said that?
A lot of people. There was like a weird amount of backlash about it. I was like, he's Ryan Gosling.
And that is also such a weird thing to say about a children's toy.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Like, that is also such a weird... Look, I get it. Ken is supposed to be her handsome boyfriend or a handsome accessory.
Yeah.
Whatever. But at the same time, it's also like... And Ryan Gosling doesn't check that box?
Yeah,
okay,
no.
Weirdos. But what is he supposed to have? What is he supposed to look like?
Watch The Nice Guys and watch Crazy Stupid Love and tell me he's not perfect.
Yep.
Like, that dude is one of the best actors of the generation, period.
Yeah.
But he's also one of the best, like, comedians.
He's got so much more range than people give him credit for.
Watch the Papyrus SNL sketch.
Amen.
Watch La La Land. He's very funny in La La Land. He has like a signature screech thing he does, which is great. Which it was apparently in Barbie and they cut it, which is a bummer.
Fuck.
That's the third mistake. No, I'm kidding.
That you're on the list.
But I think Ryan Gosling, like in a movie filled with like wall to wall great performances. Like I really don't think anyone's bad in this movie. Everyone is really great. Margot Robbie like rules. No one committed quite like Ryan Gosling did, to the point that I think he might have lost himself. Like, I want what happened to Austin Butler to happen to Ryan Gosling, and I just wanted to be with him forever.
Literally.
Like that. The worst part about this is a joke. I want to make this very clear. This is a joke. The worst part about the writers or the actors' strike is that Ryan Gosling can no longer promote this movie.
Fuck. You're so right.
But anyway, I think he steals the show.
Yeah.
And I'm just Ken has been bumping in my car since I saw the movie.
Yeah, that is maybe the best moment in cinematic history of the last decade.
Yeah.
Century, maybe. That was like literally, it was like, that is my exact perfect thing is Ryan Gosling and Simu just like and fucking singing about being accessories to the women. It's my favorite.
It's so good. But I also think that, like, emotionally speaking, the movie handles the resolution of that so well.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is like, this is a man-hating movie. What did y'all watch? I don't know. Like, I'm confused.
Yeah.
It's not. It is having a very, like, tough conversation in a big way, admittedly.
Yeah.
But it's doing it incredibly.
Right.
Like, it's literally, like, Ken is the villain, but really patriarchy is the villain.
Yeah.
Like the idea, the villain of the movie is extremes.
Yeah.
Right? Like Barbie, even the line at the end was like, not every night has to be girls' night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, like that's the whole point of the movie is it doesn't have to only be this one thing.
Right.
Like, which is the balancing of life and all that. But
yeah,
I don't know. Everyone fucking, I'm not even going to name him, but
media literacy is dead.
Truly
dead. Like truly.
Dude, we'll talk about that when we get to Oppenheimer because there's been some takes that have been baffling.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think the discourse around this movie. Now that being said, the discourse around everyone who's saying those things is just getting eviscerated because everyone who has 2 brain cells is like, this movie rules. I don't know what you're talking about. It's having, I don't know, dude. I was really like enamored with how well Barbie handled its like subject matter.
Yeah.
And god damn it, Barbie World was so much fun.
Yes.
I thought the real world was like looked good, you know what I mean? But it's like in comparison, Barbie World is just this like explosion of creativity.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was the exact idea, was to make the normal world feel normal and like super boring in the way that it is, and then make Barbie World like, and then Kendom. Kendom,
my Mojo Dojo Casa House,
his Mojo Dojo Casa House, make it a literal, actual fucking dream world.
Yeah,
because that's what it was.
That's so
a Technicolor nightmare of a dream world.
Yeah,
love it. I think the production design, the costuming, the cinematography,
the Barbie traveling montage where she's like going through the thing,
wonderful,
is practical.
Yeah,
it's like literally they showed like the ground thing. They did the old timey like rotating floor where it would drop off just out of frame to rotate. All that stuff is so cool, and it adds such a like texture that CGI hasn't quite figured out how to get yet.
Right.
Like CGI you can do like hyper realism, but like that type of specific stuff outside of animated movies is so hard to get.
Both movies we're discussing today, both very, very practical movies.
Yes.
I think honestly the only CGI in Barbie was the fucking fake car they were driving.
Yeah, the fake car they're driving, or like when she's hovering.
You know what I
mean? Like the explosion of light coming out of the Ken's chest.
It's like wonderfully.
It's wonderfully realized. Yeah, it's like it's so good.
Wonderfully like animated, like over the top animated.
How'd you feel about Alan?
I don't know. He was funny.
There's no resolution to Alan.
I don't know what they're trying to say. Like I've heard a lot of like crazy opinions about like, you know, like it's a meditation on of trans people in society. I'm like, okay. I'm not the person to
discuss Alan.
To discuss that. I will read much smarter people's discovery, or not discoveries, but ideas on exactly what that means. But like
Michael Cera does very good.
He's great. And I thought it was like fun and funny.
I think all of the Barbies do great as well. Yeah. I think Issa Rae is like incredible.
Yeah.
She commits real hard, and I wish she was in it a little more.
Yeah.
I thought all of them were incredible.
All of the Barbies.
But like I thought Issa Rae specifically was like, this is so much fun.
Fucking President Barbie, baby.
President Barbie.
Issa Rae 2024. I'll fucking vote.
I'm on board. Other thoughts on Barbie? Other like
good movie. I don't know, man.
Soundtrack's a bunch of fun.
Soundtrack slaps. It's all fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also would recommend seeing this one in a theater.
Yes.
Like big time don't wait for this one.
Seriously,
both of these movies. But like my sister asked, she was like, should I go see Barbie now or wait a couple days and go with friends? And it's like the first time I've ever been like, wait a couple days and go with people.
Go with people.
Because it's so much fun to sit there with like a group and have a blast. Like,
I told Megan before the movie, I was like, this screening's going to be rowdy.
Yeah.
And it like kind of was, like it was not quiet. Yeah. And there was lots of laughs, lots of cheers, lots of claps.
That's how ours was. Ours was very like good movie theater fun. Everyone was really engaged, and I love that.
Yeah,
nothing worse than seeing like a good comedy and having a dead crowd where you're like, that was funny, why aren't we laughing?
What was it that was it Nice Guys where we were like literally the only people in the audience
laughing? No, it was you and I went and saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, right.
And the last scene of that movie, you and I were cackling laughing, and everyone else in that theater was dead fucking silent. And I don't understand how it was so funny.
Yeah.
The Nice Guys, we might have been the only ones in the theater.
There were very few people in that theater. I remember that much.
Which sucks because that movie rules. Now, I do think a lot of people are going to start discovering that now that we've all realized Ryan Gosling can be a good, silly, goofy guy.
Let's hope.
But yeah, no, I thought Barbie was excellent.
Yeah.
On to Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Because so here's how I did. I went and saw it regular opening night, just not IMAX, just a regular screening of it. And then you and I on Sunday did the 70 millimeter massive IMAX screen.
Yeah.
What was your experience? Was it overwhelming at times?
In the ways that I think it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And this is Oh, we were gonna do Tenet as our B segment.
Yeah, we can do 10 as a B segment next time.
Okay. Because in a way, like, which I think is a larger conversation that needs to be had about Christopher Nolan. But like, I think he very much so, he has outright said about this and previous movies that the best and only version he wants you to watch is the IMAX version.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a flying fuck if you're watching it in a dollar theater. He hates you. He will spit on you.
Yeah.
He wants you to go see it in IMAX. He hates poor people. Yeah, no, these are my thoughts on Tenet kind of bubbling up right now.
He's actually recently talked about IMAX, right? But like, if you're gonna watch it at home, he wants you to buy the 4K.
Oh, that's funny.
So he still hates poor people.
Yeah. No, the way that he, what's the word I'm looking like masters his movies.
Yes,
is specifically and only designed for the top of the line, most expensive theaters, which is just fucking like, I get it from like an artist's,
but I think specifically his audio.
Yeah,
like his audio is like, oh, like
yes.
if you're in even a tiny subpar theater, even a little bit outdated equipment, but still nice,
right?
You're like, fuck, I can't hear a goddamn thing they're saying. Now there are times he wants that, like even in Tenet, even in an IMAX screen, it's like that. But yeah,
but at the same time, it's like when you're only doing it for only mastering for the top of the line systems, you are just disregarding the vast majority of not only your viewer base but the fucking country.
Yeah,
and it's just classist in a way that actually gets under my fucking skin.
The IMAX, the 70 millimeters, only in like 11 cities or something, right?
Yeah.
Because there are only 11 cities that have the ability to do it.
Yes.
They literally had to bring in projectionists from out of state.
They did that. They did that at every theater that wasn't in New York or LA.
Yeah.
Like basically everywhere had people shipped across the country. Like that is cool and an interesting thing for the people who can do that and afford that, and which we are lucky enough to be able to have done that and planned ahead and bought the ticket, all that kind of stuff. But when you're mastering for only those people, get fucked.
Yeah. And we got our tickets like 2 months in advance.
The day they went on sale, I bought tickets.
Yeah,
and the day after they went on sale.
It was 100% sold out, and I'm assuming every single screening was.
When I bought the tickets, I wanted to do as close to opening day as possible, but the only even remotely viewable times the only good seats that I could find were on Sunday or Sunday morning. They literally the theater, the one in Dallas that we went to, has screenings at 2:30 in the morning, and then starting again at 6:45 in the morning. Insane. Like, again, these things are like fine or whatever if that is if you can afford it or all that kind of thing. These are cool. That is a cool bonus add-on thing, and I'm incredibly blessed that we were able to go see that. But fuck you if that's who you're targeting this for. Anyways.
Yeah.
That is not my view on the movie. I thought Oppenheimer was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was overwhelmed by it when I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like there are sequences that are very much supposed to be overwhelming.
The Trinity test is like a master class in that very idea.
Yeah. The Trinity test, the big group, what's the word I'm looking for?
The interrogation scenes that you're talking about?
That too.
With the lights, like the end of that interrogation, which is a through line of the whole movie, but the end of that where it
but specifically with the big crowd where it's like, the world will remember this day.
Oh, yes.
That one.
His speech after they bomb Hiroshima.
That one specifically. That is the most suffocating part of the movie.
The most bone-chilling thing in this movie, legitimately, to me, is when the audio cuts out right in that moment, but they leave one horrified scream really quickly, and you're just like, I'm gonna die. Like, Oppenheimer is great. Now, I want to talk about this. How did you experience it? Because I'm curious what you'll think of this. I still don't know exactly how I feel about this idea, but it feels like a 3-hour montage. Like, in not in a literal montage. Like, there are obviously scenes that are scenes and things, but it feels like it has the energy and in shifting between segments like a montage.
Interesting.
Like, it feels like it grabs you and just rips you along for 3 hours, and then occasionally we'll have a slower moment, which is almost like literally look at a Rocky montage where he's struggling and and then he gets back up. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like that for 3 hours from an experience standpoint.
Yeah.
It's not literally like a montage, but like the getting the gang together scene is identical to like him getting a phone call in terms of like how you rush through it.
Interesting.
That's not a 1-to-1. That's not a perfect, but my experience of it both times I saw it, I was like, that movie like grabs you and just drags you.
I see that only as a benefit.
No, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Like
I agree that it has a super frenetic pace in a way that I think like if it was a lot slower, or if the pace was different, I think it would be boring. Like I think there is if you give this movie to a different director, give this script and like the basic script, maybe not in the order that he put it in, it would be really boring, I think.
Yeah.
With some really intense moments and then a lot of kind of watching paint dry.
I was going to say the movie amounts to people talking.
Yes.
Like that is the vast majority of this movie.
One explosion, everything else is people talking.
Does not feel like it, though.
Not at all.
Like it feels like Ford v Ferrari, and it's like propulsiveness,
It reminds me, like the pace reminds me of The Departed.
Yeah, that's a great example,
where it's just like, again, like that one's got, it's got murders and shit in it, but it's a lot of people in rooms talking, and it has that like intense pace where it does like slow to a halt at the moments where the big moments, but while again still like you get to live and breathe in those moments, and then but in a really 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 good way, like because again like I think there's a world where you give this idea, you give that book that he based it off of,
the American Prometheus,
if you give that book to a different
like Fincher even. Now Fincher would also make a very interesting movie, but it would not be this one.
No, it wouldn't be this like frenetic. I think that would be phenomenal.
No. But it'd be cool. But don't get me wrong.
Yeah, like I'm thinking of like whoever directed like Spotlight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you give that dude a person. I have no idea who directed it.
Yeah,
if you give that person that movie, I think that would be a good movie.
Yeah,
but I don't think it would be remotely as interesting
and original
as this one.
Yeah, like Oppenheimer is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Even the non like 70 millimeter is just phenomenal to look at. Like it's hard to call it Cameo City, but it like is, but not in a way that's distracting.
No,
like there's a couple that'll pop up and you're like, is that guy? Like,
there's one.
Which one?
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman showing up. Really, it's not the Casey Affleck jump scare?
Oh, it's a Casey Affleck jump scare as well.
Whoa.
Hey.
Who said you could be here?
Hey, I'm watching it.
Great.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
But yeah, it's like Josh Peck is in this movie for like 3 scenes.
Yeah.
Jack Quaid.
Yeah.
The guy from White Collar. Every other actor known to me,
every other actor,
which is funny. Between Barbie and Oppenheimer, this employed most of Hollywood.
Yeah,
like
fucking Papa from Stranger Things.
Fucking Papa from Stranger Things.
He's
Rami Malek.
Fucking that one's the weirdest one to me. It's like Oscar winner Rami Malek has 4 lines.
Yeah.
Like that one's the big one for me. He's got a big moment.
Yeah,
it's like that one's like, man, you really wanted to be in this, didn't you?
But I think everybody did. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Jack Quaid came off of doing Scream and then doing some stuff, I'm sure, for Scream 6. He's on The Boys. Like it is one of the most bankable stars in the world right now. He didn't need to come do the thing where he was in a couple of scenes. But he was just like, the script seems great. I want to work with Nolan. Like, let's do it. Like, I think it's fascinating how much they banked on like just getting stars in this movie. I think Benny Safdie's like incredible in it.
Yeah.
Like Benny, I had a weird Benny Safdie like double feature kind of. I watched this and then I watched Are You There? Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Really?
He's the dad in it. It's
That's
really
hilarious.
Fun. He plays a great MILF. Or a DILF, sorry. MILF, not MILF.
He plays a great MILF. You heard it here first, folks.
Rachel McAdams plays a great MILF. Anyway, I just think like that was one of those things I was like shocked by. I was like, This feels like it should be just Cammy. Everyone's been making the joke where it's like, oh yeah, I cannot wait for the Einstein spinoff.
Right.
When are we gonna get the this guy? They were all like, what's the Avengers?
We're gonna get the Manhattan Project expensive universe.
I saw this clip where like, this is what happened to my Barbie screening. He was like fake filming the screen, and then the middle of the theater blew up. He was like this, and he whipped the camera over and zoomed it on the screen across. It just said, the bomb will return.
Yeah, I made the joke to Megan. I was like, I was expecting fucking Nick Fury to show up at the end of the movie and just be like, I want to invite you to the Manhattan Initiative.
Yeah, but it was just that idea of like literally everybody's making that joke of like the Barbie screening next door when that bomb goes off and off.
Have you seen that is it Willem Dafoe? It's Willem Dafoe. I think it's when he was when he played painter. What's his name? Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. Yep.
Have you seen?
Oh, where he's like looking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the guy in the front row watching Oppenheimer right before the bomb goes off. So good.
So funny.
It's my favorite shit.
God damn it, that's so good.
Good movie. I don't know. Like I have a couple of things where like. I don't know. The Florence Pugh is amazing, and I think she's phenomenal in this movie. The amount of nudity was strange.
Hey, not in India.
I don't know what that means.
They CGI'd a dress on her for that chair scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest shit I've ever heard.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. But it's just like, I don't know. This is a problem with Hollywood. If I'm going to see...
Yeah.
Why I wanted to see some.
I wanted to see Cillian's Murphy.
I wanted to see Killian.
I
wanted to see his fucking ball sack.
Yeah, he needed really just to undo those legs, Sharon Stone
yeah, give
style.
Me fucking, yeah. I was thinking Sharon Tate.
Oh,
different thing.
Terrible.
No, I honestly, literally, we just shirtless and we saw his leg. Like, what the fuck is this?
It is a legitimate problem in Hollywood to do that. Like, yeah, it's
shout out to Flo.
Well, that's the thing is, I think Florence has done like modeling stuff, like basically nude. Like she's very, seemingly very like open with her body. She's done nudity in like Lady Macbeth, and
she's fucking red carpets. She's worn basically like sheer things that you can see right there.
Like
so
it's like I get it, and men are just so much less likely to do it.
I couldn't even see Oppen booty. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
like Oppen schlong. Like
yeah, we needed it.
Oppen ball sack.
Literally, that scene came up, and I was like, "It's time." And then
just so
happened.
you could see Flo.
No, just because I could see Killian, dude.
I know how excited you were to see Flo.
You son of a bitch.
Like I don't know. That was like the only thing that I was like uncomfortable with.
Yeah, like I just think it didn't bother me. I was just like, all right, whatever. Like it just kind of
I think this movie very much has the same issues that all of Christopher Nolan's movies, where none of the women are really like that much of a character.
No.
Yeah. Like it fails the Bechdel test with flying colors, like that kind of thing. Well, it's like, look, the Bechdel test is not the only test to
that was made to prove a point, not to be an actual measure of
exactly my point. That being said, it very much fails that.
Yeah.
Like, it just like the women in this movie only serve to be the women around. Now look, it's about Oppenheimer.
I'll say it's better than his other work.
Oh, it's better than the vast majority of his other movies.
Like in that way, it's better than like the Emily Blunt scene is like one of the best scenes in the movie.
Oh, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yes, Emily Blunt, phenomenal. I wish they would have given her more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wish she would have been more. But god damn it, if that fucking scene.
I know. It's like, mommy.
Yeah.
Mother, a piece.
a piece.
But I think everyone's great in it. I think Matt Damon I love that Matt Damon has just aged into being a character actor.
I love
that
so much.
Good, and he's so good at it.
Yeah.
Like I've always really liked Matt Damon, but like it's really fun to see him like age into the role he's in now. It's like awesome.
Yeah.
And I think he takes all of his stuff and runs with it.
If Cillian, God, did it too. Fuck you. If Cillian Murphy doesn't win Best Actor,
there's a lot of talk that like Robert Downing Jr. is going to be like the favorite of that cast.
Finally, Robert Downey Jr. in a good fucking movie again. Jesus Christ, Rob. It's good to have you back. Come on the pod.
Yeah, come on the pod. We'll talk about Kiss Kiss Bang Bang again.
Yeah,
just for you.
I miss him being in good movies.
Well, don't get me wrong, I love him as Iron Man.
I'm talking like when the fucking Endgame was several years ago at this point. It's like he has picked bad project after bad project.
And during his tenure as Iron Man, he wasn't picking all that great stuff either, you know? Like Iron Man came out and was like he was great as that character, and then when they gave him a lot to do, like in an Endgame or in an Infinity War, he's really good. And the other ones where he's more cameo, he's fine.
Yeah.
But this one he showed up and showed out. Like it's like his best movies are like this and Zodiac. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's so good in both of those movies. But this one he gets like the time to shine.
So fucking good.
Very like a really like wide-ranging performance and then so specific.
When at the beginning of the movie, the first half, I was like, he's good. This is what kind of everybody's been talking about. Mm-hmm. And then there's that shift and you're like, holy shit, he's good.
You're like, okay, this movie, yeah. I do think Cillian like and now the Robert Downey Jr. thing is interesting because like he's kind of the lead of half of the movie in a lot of ways.
In a lot of like
the black and white stuff, he's really the main. It's like feels very from his perspective.
As somebody who's seen it twice, does the fission cat what?
So the way Nolan described it, I might be messing this up, but I'll just talk about my interpretation, I guess. Nolan kind of talked about it as like the color scenes are subjective. That's Oppenheimer's point of view. And the black and white scenes are objective. Uh-huh. I don't necessarily read the black and white scenes as objective. I read the black and white scenes as Robert Downey Jr., his perspective.
Yeah.
Or a more like different point of view on the scene, less so than an objective, because if you watch those scenes, they'll play moments over again, and it's just a slight camera change. That's all they're doing, but it puts you immediately in Oppenheimer's perspective when it's back to color.
Right.
That's what it is. So I don't know about the fission thing. I don't know if that framing device at the beginning, but the black and white and color absolutely works for me.
Because it was like, is that like differentiating the like time periods of like where I don't know the difference between the H bomb and the A bomb. I don't know which one's fusion or fission. I don't know.
That regardless, because in this movie they still hadn't made the H bomb. They were just that was the fight. That was the argument was to whether or not they should actually make it.
But by the end, by the hearings that Robert Downey Jr. was doing at the end, had the H bomb.
I don't think so. I think it had just that was when they pushed him out to do it. Was my understanding. I don't know when the H bomb was made.
I don't know either.
Because that was my thing is in the black and white scene when they were talking about the fact that Russia had done an atomic test.
See, but there's like two time periods that we're talking about here.
In black and white it is that way, but I don't think the black and white time periods are that far apart. I think the two color periods are really far apart, and then the black and whites are all more contained.
That's true.
I think. Now I could be wrong. I should ask Breck. I'm sure she knows. But the atomic bomb is in there.
Well, because I fucking don't know. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm dumb. Don't listen to me.
It doesn't matter.
That's confusing to me. Like obviously that's a confusing thing.
Well, it's a dense movie.
Yeah. Yes.
The fusion fission thing I just threw out the window and just went, okay, color scenes are this. They're differentiated by these two kind of like textures more than anything. Then the black and white is the black and white. You know what I mean?
I understood that. It was the description of fusion and fission that I'm still to this day going, what?
Yeah.
And that's what essentially I was like, does this make sense to you? And then we clearly from the past 10 minutes of conversation, it did not make sense to either of us.
I want to talk about the ending of this movie. The last moment of this movie.
Yeah.
The whole thing you're building up to this idea of why didn't Einstein look at him? Why wouldn't he look him in the eye?
Yeah, because Robert Downey Jr.'s character thought like, oh, he turned all the scientists against me.
And he's like, maybe they were talking about. I think he's one of the
Alden Ehrenreich.
I think he's one of the best performances in the movie.
I fucking love Alden Ehrenreich.
He's like
fucking justice for Alden Ehrenreich. I think he's a phenomenal actor.
Well, people literally were talking about this where like Josh Hartnett's in this movie too.
Yeah,
and like
fucking Josh Hartnett.
Great, right? He's had a bit of a resurgence. This isn't like his comeback.
No, he was just in something, right?
Yeah.
Or it was a Guy Ritchie thing. It was a Guy Ritchie joint.
Yeah, probably.
Or was it just, has it not come out yet? I saw a trailer for it.
The thing, he's been in several things recently. Like, he's had this big comeback, but Nolan's been doing that in this movie where he's like, there's like 3 or 4 people in this movie who haven't had the careers they deserve, and he's giving them great parts.
Yeah. The fucking kid from Sky High. He's in the main kid from Sky High is in this movie.
Roderick Rules, the guy from the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies, is in this movie.
I don't know what any of those words mean.
The older brother from the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie is in this movie.
Fucking A, man.
There's a video of Nolan going, yeah, Roderick rules.
Wild.
Which is great. But anyway, so but the ending, the whole movie is kind of like centered around that weird perceived slight.
Yeah.
And then you see the most horrific thing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just that line of like, he's like, I remember it well. Why do you ask? Because I think we did.
Yeah.
And then just you see this like this movie's like weirdly surrealist also in a way that I fucking love.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just see this like all the like the V2 rockets, like in the like he's in the plane seeing this, and you see the warheads and they're shooting up, and then the wave of fire. It's like you leave that movie like, okay. Yeah. I'm all right? Like horrifying stuff.
Truly.
It's like tough to watch.
Yeah.
I mean,
I heard the movie before the movie came out. Like people were describing it as a horror movie,
and there's a lot in here.
Yeah,
like the thing with Florence Pugh where there's black gloves on the back of her head in one shot, and then they cut to like the same shot and they're not there.
Yeah,
and you're like, because that's a real like rumor is that the CIA had her killed.
Also, is this movie implying that Strauss had JFK killed? Is that what this movie is implying?
I don't know.
I think that's what this movie is implying.
That's so funny.
That Strauss had JFK killed?
That didn't even occur to me, but holy shit.
That was the first thing I fucking thought of when he said, some young guy out of Massachusetts wants to make a name for himself, didn't like the way you treated Oppenheimer. I think his name was Kennedy. It was like, holy shit, Strauss killed fucking JFK. Like,
that is insane, but you may be right.
I am right. That is what this movie is implying.
Anyway,
now here's the question: is Christopher Nolan right? What does he know?
Yeah.
Was he on the grassy knoll? We'll find out next.
Door opens up. Nolan steps out in his 3-piece suit.
He's gonna do a fucking Oppenheimer style movie, but about Jack Ruby.
God damn it.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, that's funny. But yeah, so this movie is like a horror movie in a lot of scenes. Like the Trinity test scene is just this like, it's like all these scientists are like in awe of the thing they created, but the movie is very much like, this is horrifying what we're able to do.
Yeah.
Because like it cuts to silence.
Yeah.
And then just like it's shocking.
Yeah.
And
the Trinity the Trinity test. That moment where it's just like dead fucking silent and all you hear is like breathing in like the room for like a minute and a half.
And nobody in that fucking theater said anything.
No.
Both screenings, it was silent.
Jesus Christ, that the IMAX screening that we went to was one of the best fucking crowds.
Yeah.
Everybody was there. Everybody understood the assignment.
Everyone laughed at appropriate moments. This movie has like levity in it.
It's got some laughs.
It's got some jokes here and there, but God, when that shockwave hits you too, like because it's silent, then you get hit by the shockwave, and you're like, I think Megan jumped.
Yeah.
Which it's like a jump scare, dude.
Yeah.
Like
it's a horror movie, dude.
It's a horror movie. That's very good. I think that one, maybe more than Barbie, benefits the like theatrical experience, like we were talking about with Nolan.
I mean, like.
That's what we need to talk about. The people's reaction to this movie. There are people out there claiming this glorifies the building of the atomic bomb. This is a cautionary tale about a man who hated the thing he built because he knew it could destroy the world.
It's like
it's not being subtle.
It has a few shades of like, but we had to do it to end the war. But there's so much more.
But I think the whole back half of that movie is him going, "Fuck, we did not have to do this to end the war."
There's even a moment where it's like there's that line of like, we have intel that'll say like, the Japanese army will fight to the very last man, and it's like there's like later in the movie it contradicts that. Well, where it's like.
It was believed, and still in a lot of circles, I believe, is believed that like those would have cost around that number of people.
Yeah.
like in terms of lives lost on both sides cumulatively.
Right.
But they were essentially defeated.
Yeah.
So who knows? History can't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they did essentially attack a defeated enemy.
Twice.
To prove that they could keep doing it, as
Yeah.
Matt Damon puts, in the most unambiguous way possible.
Yeah.
Horror movie. But yeah,
Yeah.
people are thinking this is like glorifying everything. I'm like, did you not see the end of the movie? Or the beginning of the movie? Or the middle of the movie?
Again, media literacy.
Media literacy's dead, dude. People can't do it. Anyway, I think both of these are excellent.
Phenomenal. If they don't get if both of them don't get nominated for a fuck ton of shit, I'll be pissed.
Yeah, like I genuinely think Ryan Gosling might have not Ryan Gosling, but I'm Just Ken might have the original song.
Dude, the original song is such a fucked category. The thing that should win never wins. It's not even going to get nominated.
I know, but I'm trying to think of another
except for Not To. That's the only time it's ever actually won. Yeah. And like the thing
and Skyfall.
Oh, and Skyfall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
only times ever.
Yeah, I was about to
burn and then there's this. No, I'm kidding.
If you said writings on the wall, I'd literally fucking end this podcast and our friendship.
I understand. Anyway, I think both these are phenomenal, and I do agree. I think specifically Oppenheimer's going to kind of clean up this year at the Oscars.
I can't imagine how it wouldn't.
Yeah, but I think Ryan Gosling's probably going to nominate for Best Supporting Actor.
If I hope. Like he deserves it.
He deserves
so far.
It. And it will draw viewers.
Yeah.
Because he might get to perform I'm Just Ken.
I would literally scream and cry and throw up and piss and shit and come all the time.
But anyway, other thoughts on these? Like I think
good movies, guys.
Good movies, guys.
I can't
go support theaters and go see them. Like they're doing incredibly. Let's keep that going.
Yeah.
Like,
fun shit.
And also not fun shit. But
also not very fun
50% fun, 50%
incredibly
really
good but not fun at all, and also incredibly good and very very fun.
Yeah. Anyway,
do we want to talk about Tenet or should we save that for another day?
Save that for another one. Let's do your prepared segment.
I just have a bunch of like questions and like ideas and just thoughts and like let's do this first. How do you think Greta Gerwig, this is her third one?
Yep.
So I don't think we can. Greta Gerwig filmography ranked. Where do you put it?
Interesting. I've only seen Lady Bird and Barbie once. Little Women is definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
I watch Little Women a lot. That movie is just incredible top to bottom. It might go. Talking rewatchability, I think Barbie's going to be more rewatchable. So that might be my number 2 and then Lady Bird. But God damn it, it's a close call on those two.
I agree 100%. That is literally my exact thing. In terms of Nolan, how do you rank? He's got 12. Let's start from the bottom and move our way up. I have not seen Insomnia or Following. I have not seen either of those. How would you rank?
Give me
Nolan?
a second to pull up his movies. If you have a bottom already, just
I haven't seen the. We'll go from 12 to 1. But I haven't seen 2 of them, so I am only going from 10 to 1.
I have only not seen one of his movies, and it's Following.
Oh, okay. So you go first. Give me your number 11.
We'll just call. Let me look at these. Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, same.
That's my least favorite.
Yeah, that is also my least favorite. I need to make one switch real quick because I think what I did was baffling. Dude, I don't know. I'm so the top of the list I feel very confident in. The bottom I feel very not. So yeah, 11 is Dark Knight Rises.
11.
10 for me is Dark Knight Rises. What's your 10?
No, I'm thrown. 10. Now look, I like this movie. Well, maybe it's Insomnia. You know what? Maybe it's Insomnia. I just don't think I'll rewatch Insomnia again.
Unless
I show it to someone, which I'll probably show it to you because I think it's an interesting conversation to have for like how different a filmmaker can be.
Fucking Pacino
and Robin Williams. But I like that movie. I just don't love that movie.
Yep, my number 9 is Tenet.
Okay, I'm a bit of a Tenet defender. I like Tenet.
I like it. What's your 10?
Let me catch up to you just so we can be on the same. Yeah. So, my ranking was Dark Knight Rises at the bottom, Insomnia, then it's probably Dunkirk,
Wow.
I like Dunkirk a lot. There's
Yeah.
sections of Dunkirk I like a lot, and then other sections where I'm like, this is timey-wimey bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
And I think people forget how interesting some of his work really is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, so do I need to do one more?
Yeah.
Dunkirk, and then it is probably Batman Begins.
My next one's Memento.
Okay.
I like it. I've seen it once. I'm good.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I will watch it again eventually.
Totally get that.
It's like the movie itself. It is one interesting idea wrapped. It is a whatever movie wrapped in an interesting idea.
That is a good way to describe that. I do agree with that.
Like the thing that is cool about that movie is the editing and basically nothing else.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
Probably Memento. One above you, I think. I like Memento a little bit more than you do.
Yeah.
But I do fully agree with what you said.
All right. Here is my fucking flaming
I know
hot,
what this is gonna be.
insane hot take. Interstellar. I think that movie is so far up its own ass, and you're talking to the person who is talking absolutely fucking loves sci-fi. I like Blade Runner 2049, fucking Arrival. Like I fucking love some sci-fi bullshit. And I brought Primer as an episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm that dude, and I just don't like Interstellar. I think it is phenomenally well made, and I think that it is really poorly written.
I'm very sorry.
The characters just are not human beings. They are fucking characters. Okay.
Interstellar's one above you for me because I like it. I like that movie.
Yeah.
But it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
I've seen it twice. I think once in theaters and then once right when it came out. And I own it. I own it on the 4K. I got it for like $10, and I really want to rewatch it because it's been years.
Yeah.
But anyway, that one for me.
Next, I've got Batman Begins.
Okay, a little higher than me.
Yeah.
Or did I say Batman Begins yet?
I don't know. I thought you.
I think I did. I think I said Batman.
I like Batman Begins. I don't think it's great. I think it's ugly, but I do think that movie's pretty good.
Shit, maybe I forgot to say Batman Begins. I don't know.
Yeah,
I should have prepped.
In
fairness, I didn't know about this.
I didn't prep you for it at all.
Yeah. My next one would. My next one is. Don't hate me.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
The Prestige.
Oh, that's not that low, or that's
no. The fact that I'm putting Tenet above The Prestige is a bit of a hot take, I think.
Oh, that is piping hot if you ask me. But I don't know if everybody else would disagree with me.
No, the thing is, I like Tenet because it was like a great experience when I saw it.
Yeah,
it was like an almost empty IMAX screening during the pandemic, and I was with two people I knew and was like living with. So it's like it was an amazing experience from that perspective. And I just was like, we talked about it for so long after, and then I watched it a bunch with a bunch of people, and I just really enjoy that movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's The Prestige is my next one.
Wild. My next one's Dunkirk. I saw that in 70mm IMAX in the theater. Phenomenal experience. I will never watch that movie ever again.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like that movie is as high as it is, I think, because of the viewing experience. Why would I ever watch it again when I've already seen the best version I'm ever going to see?
Yeah,
and the way it was fucking designed to be seen. Fucking Chris.
Yeah, my next one would be Tenet.
Mine next is The Prestige.
Okay. Look, I get it. I need to rewatch Prestige. I haven't seen it since high school.
I think that movie is one of his best written movies, and I think it is also very ugly. I think I like Wally Pfister. I like some of his work, but some of his stuff with Christopher Nolan is just ugly. Like, because like they talk about their process before they started using IMAX. And it is like just so fast and dirty, and it is incredibly dirty. So it's like I really, really love the movie Prestige, but I think it's ugly.
My next one is The Dark Knight.
My next was The Dark Knight too.
So we both have Inception at 1?
Yeah. Oh no, we don't.
Is that not?
I have Inception at 2, and I have Oppenheimer at 1.
Oh, sorry. My next one will be Oppenheimer. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, and then sorry to spoil this. I totally jumped a step. My next one will be Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And then The Dark Knight. To everyone who thinks I hate The Dark Knight, I like that movie. It's just not a very good Batman movie. It's like
it's a
good crime thriller.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Fuck it. Dark Knight. then Oppenheimer, then Inception.
That's how I have it.
There it is.
I have
folks.
Dark Knight, Inception, Oppenheimer. I don't think that's crazy. I
love
think Inception's a phenomenal fucking movie.
I think Inception. I think putting Dark Knight 3 down for a lot of people's like fucking heresy.
Fuck them. Like
we just committed like regicide. Like
fuck them if they can't take a joke. Those movies fucking rule.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. Next, I've got a few that we could try to burn through. How would you combine Barbie and Oppenheimer into one movie?
Fuck.
If you were to make Barbenheimer, how would you make that happen?
Fuck. The nuclear explosion creates a living doll. It transcends time and space and brings the Barbie back to Congress to testify.
My thought process was like maybe one of their kids plays with a Barbie or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, bring it that way. Yeah, I have no idea how to combine these two really, but it's a Wes Anderson style Barbie world, while over in the real world they're doing the Trinity test, and so you're seeing it that way.
During a fucking weird fusion test, Oppenheimer gets flooded with atomic rays and gets sent to Barbie Land.
Cillian Murphy said he'd play a Ken.
Hell yeah!
Which I would love that.
I would pay fucking top dollar to see that, boys. What other World War II historical figure should Gary Oldman play next? He's played Churchill.
Look,
he's now played fucking Truman.
There's an awful answer.
I mean, yeah. But like what? Like I was thinking like Mussolini, like fucking Stalin would be fun.
Patton.
Fuck it. There's a
world that
Patton's
happens.
not even stupid. Like
yeah, that could happen.
The real answer's the bad one.
The bad one.
And would be perfect.
He's Gary Oldman. He'd kill it.
He'd fucking kill it. What character from Barbie would you put in Oppenheimer? Or vice versa?
I would put Ken.
No, here's the real answer. Benny Safdie in Barbie. Yes! Like fucking A, right?
Oh God, I would pay money.
That's the fucking real
God,
answer.
that's so good.
What other historical figure deserves a Christopher Nolan style tension horror movie? I made the joke about Jack Ruby earlier, but I honestly don't even think that's that bad of an. You know what I mean? Like, or who's the one who actually assassinated JFK?
You asked and now I can't.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
That would be really interesting.
I think that would be a fucking fascinating.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fascinating.
Yeah.
Get like a fucking creepy ass dark like character study on that fucking dude.
Yeah. I'd be down for that.
I'd
have to think about this way more.
Yeah. I literally, as I was driving home from work, I was fucking like text to speeching into my phone thinking of all these ideas. What famous childhood icon deserves a modern socially conscious drama comedy like Barbie?
Oh, like toy?
I just said childhood icon. I'm thinking it could be a TV show. It could be, you know what I mean? Like it could be anything.
Do you have an answer?
No. I have an amazing ass, but I don't have an answer. I don't know what that was.
I don't know. That's actually really hard.
I mean, like, yeah, I obviously Barbie is like the perfect Venn diagram of like iconic childhood thing, but also like social, like had actual social implications.
Yeah. Every company in the world right now is scrambling to find theirs.
Yeah, literally.
So I don't know. Like Lego, obviously, I think is like a
thinking
great one, but they did it a bunch.
Is there like a boys' toy that like we can have a similar discussion?
G.I. Joe.
I thought the same thing. I was like,
there's a world where you do like a G.I. Joe thing about a guy who did these things and didn't want to do them and is living with the consequences of it, and do a more like actual like adaptation versus like a meta commentary on it. I think there's a world in which that's actually quite interesting.
Dude, if honestly, I seriously, who else?
Like Logan, honestly, is a great example of like how to do it, where they did a real character study out of Logan. Yeah. Like, I mean, I think the Batman is a good example. You just go down the superhero rabbit hole, but
yeah,
Darth Vader.
They never done a movie about that guy.
Not once.
And then I also pulled a list of, let me pull it real quick. Oh, you son of a, let me read first. Hollywood's largest same-day movie premieres.
Breck and I talked about this and I literally forgot the exact movies.
The largest same-day movie premiere by total box office was Forrest Gump and Lion King.
Okay, crazy.
They came out the same fucking day and they both made incredibly large amounts of money. Forrest Gump and Lion King both made well over $1 billion. Forrest Gump made almost $1.5 billion, which is wild to me. Aladdin versus The Bodyguard.
That's kind of nuts.
Kung Fu Panda 2 versus The Hangover Part 2. That's the funniest shit I've ever
I want to
heard.
watch that crossover.
I want to watch. That's a double feature I'm watching. Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian versus Terminator Salvation.
Fucking
that
weird.
I cannot imagine a worse double feature.
That one's legitimately insane.
Prometheus versus Snow White and the Huntsman. That would also be a very weird and probably kind of bad double feature. Remember Snow White and the Huntsman?
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. Batman and Robin versus Hercules.
That's a fascinating idea.
That would be an interesting.
That's
It's Batman and Robin too, so it's like interesting.
Already camp factor.
Yeah, no kidding. Bridget Jones, The Edge of Reason versus The Polar Express. Okay. G-Force versus The Ugly Truth. What's The Ugly Truth?
I don't know what The Ugly Truth is, but G-Force is a memory I didn't know I had.
Yeah, you remember that movie that had the little versions of the Kia Soul gerbils?
Yep.
Gerbils? What
Guinea
the fuck?
pigs.
Hamsters? Guinea pigs? Who gives a shit? They're all the same. They're all roadkill.
Fuck, dude. Jesus.
Just kidding. Aragon versus The Pursuit of fucking Happiness. I hate The Pursuit of Happiness, guys.
I've never seen it. That's one of those like hyper famous movies I've just never seen.
Skip it. It's not worth it.
All right.
Truly, truly not worth it.
Okay.
It is a very good Will Smith performance. Done. That's all that is worth talking about.
Gotcha.
And it's just like, this guy has an awful, terrible life.
There you go.
There's the movie.
That's all you needed to know.
Anyway, so those are some head-to-head. Not as fun as like Barbenheimer. Very few of them.
No.
But we live in a wonderful age. I am terrified, truly, truly terrified of the way studios are going to try to bend this, because all they're going to do is shoot their own movies in the foot by placing them on the same day as other big movies.
Yeah.
It's like, I seriously think that these two movies, it could not have happened virtually.
Well, no, the thing they're forgetting is the internet is the reason for this. They didn't market these movies in any sort of like, Barbie did like really good marketing, but like Oppenheimer had a few fun things that were pretty original in the marketing world, but like the internet and the hype of the Barbenheimer moment is what made these successful. In this way, to this scale.
I mean, it's the fact that it is Barbie made by Greta Gerwig. Like that thing made that going to be an internet thing. Mm-hmm. And then Oppenheimer being a Christopher Nolan movie. That's all that it needed, was to be a Christopher Nolan movie, which is the like hyper, like not masculine, but the hyper like milady kind of like dude. And then Barbie, which is like very not dude, which it's a great movie regardless. But it's like, I think it was those two things, like the movies being as polar opposite as they are, and also would have been incredibly popular without this.
Yeah.
It's like, I think the thing that studios are going to be like, what if we put a girly movie next to a not girly movie? It's like that.
It's like you're undercutting how good the movies are.
Yes. You're undercutting like
how
the fact
strong the word of mouth was.
Right.
How fun the idea and polar opposite of these movies were.
And the fact that they were already going to be incredibly popular.
Yeah.
Like they were already like really interesting movies made by great filmmakers that just happened to be like polar opposites of each other. Yeah. It's like, I don't think you could put just any movie that has a has a feminine slant against any movie that has a masculine slant.
Yeah.
And have the same outcome.
It's like, that's not why this worked.
And that's what they're going to try.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm really excited for Saw X and Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
That's the next great double feature later this
Truly.
year. Be there at the theaters. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I legitimately want to just for the hell of it.
Right.
But then I have to sit through Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
Which is apparently Fast and Furious for kids. So. Anyway, yeah. Studios are gonna fuck this up. Recommendations. I watched a movie last night called. This movie I've talked about on the podcast before. A movie that will be part of the podcast probably in our next horror month. It Follows is excellent. It is so good.
You've definitely recommended this before.
I know, but I watched it again last night, so I'm doing it again. Fine, I'll throw in another one. Love, Death, Robots has a episode.
Say that one more time.
Love, Death, Robots. Sorry, I'm slurring that. Love, Death, Robots, the Netflix sci-fi animated anthology series. Has a great episode that I just rewatched called Night of the Mini Dead. It's in season 3. It is hilarious.
Yeah.
Go watch that. It's 5 minutes long.
Hell yeah, dude.
But It Follows is a legitimately excellent movie that every time I rewatch, I get new stuff from and I dive deeper.
Of course.
Rewatching movies is important.
Yeah.
You gain a lot from it. Anyway, that's mine. What's your recommendation, my friend?
I have 2. One is The Nice Guys because
it's the best movie ever.
Because it's the best movie ever.
This guy saw The Nice Guys in theaters.
Yep. That's gonna be the thumbnail. The other one is a game.
Okay.
It is called myhouse.wad.
Oh yeah.
So don't look anything up. If you like to play video games at all, and if you're interested in kind of alternate reality game kind of things, go in with as little knowledge as possible. If you just look up myhouse.wad and find the Doom World, I think is the forum where it was posted. There's a post and it's talking so the story behind the game was this guy had a friend who a childhood friend that passed away, and at around the time of the funeral, the persons who passed away, his mother gave the guy that made this gave him a bunch of old video game stuff because they used to play games together. They used to specifically play the game Doom 2, the original OG Doom 2, not Doom Eternal. And so the post is essentially I received all of these things. I found on an old floppy disk a Doom 2 mod of my friend's house. So it's just a mod of his house. They just recreated his house in Doom 2. So you can go through and explore it. And so he essentially said, I've spent some time. I've finished remaking that level kind of in honor of my friend. And then so you can go and play that mod. You can go play myhouse.wad, which is .wad is essentially the file extension for Doom 2 mods. And there is an insane world of detail and dark shit underneath the surface. And it is incredibly fucking cool and one of the most interesting video game experiences I have ever had. It's phenomenal. And I can't believe I'm saying that about a Doom 2 mod. I mean, literally,
never judge a book by its cover, kids.
Not to get too deep into it, but it actually breaks rules of Doom 2. Doom 2 works in very specific ways. It's an old school first person shooter, and it breaks how that works in really interesting ways. It's absolutely incredible. Go play it. You will have a weird time. It's kind of scary. It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's if you just play on the easiest difficulty, you just to find all of the things. But it is kind of scary. So if you're not into a horror game kind of thing, maybe
play it
skip
anyway.
it.
Be a man,
or just watch it. Fuck you. Get out of here with your gender norms. What would
Thank you.
What would Barbie say?
Punch me in the face, probably.
I would if you're not interested in playing it, go watch a fucking video about it. It is so fucking cool and weird. But if you have the ability to play it, Doom 2 can run on literally fucking anything, and this mod is not that hard to not that hard to get working. I got it working on my MacBook Air, so if you can get it working on basically anything, I highly recommend it. It's phenomenal. It's really cool, really weird.
Rad.
And there's a whole world of like, if you to just one last thing, if you go to that post, it explains like this is the story, and then there's a link to download it. And in that link to download the files that you need to play it, there's also like pictures and a diary and like other like world building alternate reality game shit. Really cool, really fun. Can't believe it's just the coolest.
Very cool. Multimedia experience.
Yes.
Enjoy it. It might haunt you forever. This house is different. Anyway, lots of cool stuff to watch. Go see these movies in theaters. Play this game. Check out these other things. You got lots of stuff to watch. Lots of good stuff. Support theaters. So you should go do that. Or I don't know. Don't. Live your life.